Uranus in the houses. What is Uranus? Uranus is a planet of change. This is a planet of freedom, of independence. This is a planet that love to break routines and love to break structure. This is a planet that all about growth to the higher self. All about the higher mind. All about the higher mind and listen to his own intuition more than the intellect. So Uranus is all about your individual, unique self. So when Uranus is in the first house, this becomes your personality of who you are. No matter what rising sign you have or which your sun or moon sign, if you got Uranus as your planet or Uranus as your planet in the first house, this is part of your personality. So it's all blended with the rest of your personality. So this makes you unique. So if you feel unique, this is why. It makes you want to be different. You don't want to copy nobody's style, imitate nobody else. And you want your own freedom of expression. You're a free thinker. And don't think like nobody else. And this is what you love. And you love other people who are free thinkers. You really ain't into that following routines. You like to break the rules and test it out because experiment is a part of you. Experiment and trying things out and testing it out is a part of who you are. So Uranus make you a fun-loving person, but do it in a different way. To some people, it appear to be weird. It's just different. It's just different until when it's different to other people, it feel like you're an alien. But you also love your freedom. You like to be like to yourself at times, but you also like to be around people. So it's vice versa. It's either or, and it depends. Because you can be relaxing and cooling at home, or you can be on the go. You're more like an ambivert, either or, but you're a humanitarian. This is your nature. That's why y'all looking into the humanitarian issues, because this is the planet of Aquarius. So Uranus or Uranus deal with energy. It deal with energy, coming up with new ideas and coming up with new solution to problems that's different and thinking outside of the box. This is what you're good at. You're good at being different. You're good at being unique. And you love people who are different and who's unique. So this becomes your personality of who you are. You got a lot of energy. Stay on the movement. Your thoughts are always changing. Your mind always changing constantly. And also, like unexpected events be happening or things change in your life all the time. And so Uranus like to search for information, and love to socialize. But only not to socialize with others. Uranus type of individual can socialize even when people are not there. So they can speak to themselves a lot about this and about that. So you talk about Uranus as the first house. It's part of your personality and who you are. But you're very loving, very caring, and very loyal only to those who you're close to. Now, events are always changing. Jobs might change. Your attitude might change. But you're the one who highly intellectual. Stay in the mind, stay in your thoughts. And you're very expressive and can be very blunt. Basically, your mind is scientific, doing things that's different, breaking the taboos, breaking structures, just experiment, trying out things, testing things, and you don't like to be bored, period. Now, this part of your personality, you're naturally intuitive, naturally live by your intuition more than your intellect. So now, when Uranus is in the second house, this is what you value in this house. You're in the house of Taurus. It's all about what you value. It's all about money here. How you get money will be different than the norm. So you have to be an independent boss, independent person who know how to come up with solutions to make money. Not only to make money, it's all about what you value, your worth. And your worth is according to how you think of yourself. So also, it's what's important to you. So whatever your value is, you'll break the taboos of being material possessive. You'll try something new, so you'll be more of a giver, more of not materialistic like how the regular Taurus can be, but you be on the universal thinking and scale, because you run to deal with universal thinking. But you would spread the wealth, spread the love. Like you would come up with new businesses, invent new ways to get paid, invent new ways to protect yourself and your family and to provide for your family, and also to create new ways to be the interior decorator or designer that you're supposed to be, and also new ways to make recipes when dealing with food, because you love to eat, and things of that nature. Deal with the bull nature. So this also can make you very changeable in your mindset and make you more faster than the normal Taurus because you think more faster. You all in your higher mind, and so this brings Venus up there. So that makes you more up there in the mindset, intellectual. So this give you not only intuition ability, but also to make you natural empath with this placement, where you all about love and you like to do it in an earthly way. So whatever you visualize, you like to apply it to your life because it deal with the earth, Venus, earth. So you like to try it, your sexiness and because you definitely is sexy. You definitely can be very much sensual, very sensual. But the way you carry it out will be in a different way, odd, which means that you might be an individual who don't be straight. I mean, you might be bisexual, you might be a homosexual, or if you is a heterosexual, you just strange to others because the way you carry out your sexuality is in a different way. Like you might wear different clothes, act different, and you might be heterosexual and be the type who paint your nails or something like that. Just try something different. I'm just giving you an example. That don't mean that you're doing this, but the way you carry out your sexuality is different. You might look like you gay, but you're not gay, or something like that. You might look sort of weird, like. But Uranus generation, what I got to tell y'all, Uranus is a generation. This is also your generation. So every house, if Uranus in the first house, this is about yourself. In the second house, this is your generation when dealing with material possession. So the way you do it would be unique. Carry out your material possession would mean use your mind, invest in the stock market, do things that's wisely, create new systems of investment, of getting money and things like that. Come up with ideas, and you'll put your money into the idea that you come up with and visualize. And so what you value, you can intuitively prosper in all type of ways. So the way you carry yourself, your attitude will be different. So where people can assume something, but it's not that. It's just that you got a different way of thinking. And people need people like you when dealing with what you value in the house of value, the house of love. And so when dealing with your family, you might don't want to be around your family all the time like the regular Taurus because you're unique and you are independent. So sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. Sometimes, so this would be like break the structure, break the taboos, being always connected to family. So you like try something different, go outside of the family, and you might mess with others like that. But basically, you like to be to yourself, no matter what. You come back to yourself, but also you like to be around your family. I know it seems strange, but this is how it operates. It's either or. Cause sometimes you like to be to yourself, sometimes you like to be around your family, sometimes to yourself. It depends. Now, and this is Uranus in the house of Venus in Taurus. So this makes you very nature loving. You love nature, the air. You already deal with the air. So breathing in, breathing out will be you. Meditation will be you. And so this is the house of Taurus. You like the practical ways of feeling things of that nature. Feeling like having gemstones or having quartz. Things that you could touch and feel. You know what I mean? This also deal like carrying out your sensuality would mean you have unique ways of having sex and bringing out new ways of having sex, bringing out new ways of creating landscape or planting flowers and stuff like that. Cause this deal with the Taurus energy, new ways of getting money. So boom. Now, when Uranus is in the third house, which is Mercury, Uranus will have a new way of thinking, a new way of communicating. Your style will be different than the norm. And so you create new ways of thinking, new ideas. The way you carry it out will be different than the norm. And so you can be a great teacher of bringing out new philosophy, new language, a new style, or even a new way to practice spirituality or divinity, a new way of creating a creativity, a new way of expressing your creativity. And so this also deal with a new way of dealing with your siblings and dealing with your neighborhood. So being different than your siblings, being different than your neighborhood. I mean, so different than they don't know where you at because you're on a higher frequency and you higher mind till they don't know where you at. But also, you could also tell your family member down because you might think you know everything and be better than them because this is the planet of I know. And so if this is the first house, also you could be like, I know. The second house could be, I know when it comes to business, material possessions, when it comes to what you value and what's important to you. But third house, it could be all, I know. I know I'm smarter than you. I know, and you could challenge people about what you know, because Uranus is rebellious, because it's Aquarius nature. So you can be very rebellious when it comes to communicating with others and other people's thoughts and other people's ideas. You can be rebel against the way they think. And same thing when Uranus is in the second house. Uranus can be rebellious against the way people do business and the way they handle themselves, the way they handle their business, the way they take responsibility. Because the second house, Uranus is all about taking responsibility. The first house is part of who you are. You're naturally rebellious. Now, the third house, rebellious, says that you're rebellious when dealing with communicating. You might not like the way somebody communicate, or rebellious against what they said or the knowledge that they spit. But when Uranus is in this house, Uranus thrive off researching, having a scientific mind to bring out the truth and speak the truth. And this is how you win. Bring decoding religion, finding the facts to what is. Because Uranus is different in this house. Uranus thrive good when dealing with Mercury, add more speed to you, more knowledge to you, what you love to socialize and communicate. So you can be very trickery, deceiving. You can also switch your mind, but you also could switch out on people because you got Mercury right there. This house of Mercury, and Uranus is always about change, but also this could be like changing your ways with your siblings, changing your ways with your neighbors, or keep changing different residents, staying and having different neighbors and stuff like that. So with that being said, Uranus act different in this house. Uranus is definitely the teacher, bringing new ways to teach, new skills, and new lessons in this house. And so your talk game is on point. You on point. Far as the higher mind, because Mercury works well in this house, speed it up. And so sometimes you can think you better than others. You might talk fast, you talk different. Sometimes you can overtalk when people don't understand you, because you say words that people don't understand. So then you have to bring new ways of communicating where people can understand. So as long as you don't think you all that or know it all, you'll win. Because you can think you know it all, you smarter than everybody, and you can always say, I know. When the next reality you don't know. So be careful of that and learn how to discipline yourself. That's how you win. So, because just make sure you're one of the best communicator on a different level, and loving different knowledge, different people. You could deal with people all forms of different communication, even those who talk slow, those who talk fast, because Uranus could deal with them all. Uranus like people who different from people who be themselves. So that's the good thing, because you're honest. Now, watch out for your nerves always ticking, and you getting so nervous and you having nervous breakdowns and stuff like that in this house. Now, when you got Uranus in the fourth house, this makes you go outside of the box of being able to stick with your family. You know what I mean? Like you're like the moon in the house, the fourth house, the moon house, Cancer. Cancer like to be around family and like to nurture, not like to care for others. When you got Uranus here, you can be the type that don't really like to do those things that the moon like to do in this house. You might like to do it differently. You might don't like to be around your family all the time and structures, because you're going to make your own individual pathway, be your own unique self in this house. You might don't want to be close to your mother, or might have problems with your mother, or some women in general. Or if you don't have problems with them, you just want to be different. You want them to accept you for who you are. And so, because you're all about being different and being unique. And it also makes you very psychic, intuitively psychic, emotional intelligent, definitely. Because you can pick up on people frequency fast, because you got the Uranus in the moon. And so you would do it differently. And your emotions will always switch and change more than anything. So, because this is Uranus deal with sudden change. So your emotions would constantly change. Per people would see happiness, see sad, to see depressed, to see you all type of emotions display. They don't know where you at until you learn how to master yourself and control yourself. So when Uranus in this house, this makes you super sensitive, be able to pick up people's thoughts and emotions. So you could be very much a mind reader and clairsentience all together, have telepathy powers like that there. Or also clairaudience, because you deal with the higher minds, claircognites. I know, when you get downloads information from nowhere. So in this house, you get downloads information out of a sudden, and you didn't even know you were gonna catch it, but you did, and you just know the answer to whatever you need to answer, whatever question you need to answer, whatever you need to answer. I mean, all of a sudden you might not know at the time. Then all of a sudden you get downloads, information come to you out of nowhere, and then you know the answer. So in this house, Uranus in the moon house, Uranus go outside of being organized and structure and security. So you could be the type who wanna go outside of security for the sake of it, because you want to experiment and not being security oriented. You want to experiment, not being family oriented, and be able to do your own thing and not always want to be bonded and connected to people. You want to experience love differently. You want to experience things differently. That don't mean you don't love your family. You just like to be yourself and be different, not be so connected all the time to your family, more like the regular Cancer. And so also you could be the one who betrayed your trust when you got Uranus in the moon house. You betray your mother trust or your family trust. Also, they might betray you because they will all of a sudden just deal with change. So it work vice versa. So not only can you betray them, not saying that you will, but it could be the opposite. Your family betrayed you because you're different. They look at you different. You're unique. You're your higher mind, your higher self. People can't understand you. And so you feel different in this house. And so the way you nurture will be differently. It won't be the same. You know what I mean? It won't be the same as the Cancer moon. And you don't always like to nurture. You know what I mean? You like to have your own unique thinking. And you got your own ways of doing anything. So the way you walk is through emotions, but differently. Like your emotions come on at different times. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get emotional. You have emotional rushes. Because me, myself, I got moon sextile Uranus or moon, I think moon trine Uranus. So I understand you too. But you want to be differently. You still might love your mother, but the way you love her will be differently. It'll be, your love will spread everywhere. Once you get on point and you come into your true self, you will love differently, but you will love people on a universal scale. You will love some of everybody because this Uranus. Uranus deals with humanitarian issues. So your love is showing the motherly love to the planet in a different way than the regular mothers do. You will do it differently. It might be on a bigger scale than the regular mothers do because it's universal. And so also you love the ancestors, true to the ancestors. Yeah, you're true to the ancestors, love the culture, but that don't mean that you would stick to the same old culture values as others. You might try something different. Like they got African culture, many of them, like they might have the Arissas, but the Arissas in Africa, but you might try something else. Instead of trying the Arissas, you might try something else, another African culture that's good. Because you want to be different. You want to try something different. Or you might create your ways of teaching the African culture, whatever it is. So different ways, and new ways and new methods, coming up with great ideas and great inventions. And so the home life is good for you, but also you want to be outside of the home. You want to explore. So you being into real estate, you doing things that deal with food, cooking, and you doing things that deal with social work or things on the humanitarian level, scale, or therapy. All this is good occupations for you and will help you. And also you being a leader when dealing with your own being, when dealing with you being in the home, you doing things that deal with homes or anything that's working in the building, you being unique and different is what you work best at, is what you do best. So by you being different, you bring out a new whole flavor to the world, whole new style. When people accept you, that's when you show your best love. And whoever you married to, when you pick a partner, because you could be picky and choosy because you're super smart. When you do pick, you'll be loyal to that person to the end. As long as they give you that freedom, because you're all about freedom, they will win with you. So this is what it's about in this house. It's all about freedom. And so, boom. And not only freedom as in freedom, but also free thinking. So when Uranus is in the sun house, and this is my placement, which means Uranus in the fifth house, because we just did Uranus in the fourth house, now we're doing the fifth house. This is the house of the sun. So this is my placement. This sort of like Aquarius, a true Aquarius traits, but it's in the house of Leo. So also it's like a mixture of Aquarius and Leo traits, and Leo is the opposite of Aquarius. So when Uranus is in the house of Leo, Uranus take the lead in having fun things, being different and having fun, and being different, and love being different in the house of having fun. Love to be different when dealing with kids and children. Love to be different. The way you express your sexuality, you express it to the highest. So you try many partners just experience it. So you want to love to experiment in this house and do good in this house that deal with leadership, that deals with fun loving, and that deals with affairs, relationships, many relationships, and so you have many friendships, many family relationships, and also the sun deal with the heart. So you definitely, your intuition will be from the heart. You listen to your heart all the time. So your heart speaks to you. You're highly intuitive when dealing with your heart. And so you intuitively know how to have fun and create fun. You know how to be a performer. Uranus love to perform differently, not the same like other people. And Uranus love to be free in this house when dealing with having fun. Don't want nobody to turn it against them. Uranus love kids, but Uranus also don't like to be all bottled up around kids like that. Uranus love to teach the kids and show his love and then go. Because Uranus don't like to be boxed up. So Uranus love to experience affairs, but Uranus still want that one affair because Uranus is loyal. It just want to experiment. And so experiment by having fun, doing things differently, trying new ways of having fun, new ways of communicating, new ways of expression, because it's a house of expression also, which is Leo. Have different ways of expressing yourself, different than the norm. So you might say stuff that people don't understand and create a new lingo that people don't really can't relate to, but it sounds so good and so hip because you try something different, very inventive mind, and the way you motivate is different. You don't motivate like the others. You always come up with new ways and new solutions. Other ways that you come up with things that people don't see, and you motivate people in different ways and inspire people in different ways. But people love it because it's different. You're a trendsetter in this house, so you blend it good with the house of the ego anyway. This is the house of the ego, the house of, since you're unique, your generation in this house will all do the same as the fifth house generation. The fourth house, your generation will deal with the moon. The third house, your generation will deal with the air and Mercury. In the second house, your will deal with the earthly Venus. The first house, your generation deal with the self. Now, we're back on the fifth house. Your generation deal with the sun type thing. Love to shine in the media, and the way you shine will be different and unique. And sometimes you don't like to. You don't really mind if you do shine or not. Sometimes, you know what I mean, because you're different. So you love to have fun. You love the media, but sometimes you love to back off too. And then you like to shine again and keep changing. Like sometimes you do, then sometimes you don't. It depends on you, how you feel. But sometimes you feel a need to shine and be in the media or have people approval. But sometimes you don't. Sometimes you know you are it, you're different, and you love who you are, which means your unique self and different attitude. And so that makes you very good when having fun and being unique and different. And also it makes you very unique with dealing with creativity and creating new ways of recreation for others, which means creating new ways to have fun for others. So you come up with different ideas than the average. So you can be intuitive genius with dealing with being a creative artist or a creative mind. So you have an intuitive genius mind in this house. So that makes you intuitive genius because you got intuition and creativity. Intuition is Uranus, and you got creativity, and that's from the heart. So long as you listen to your heart, you'll win. It will let you know how to operate people because you know people. And you know how, and it makes you a problem solver. You come with different solutions and ideas in this house. You're very sunny, you're always smiling, but you're always changing up. Sometimes you smile, sometimes you calm. So because Uranus change up things, it makes you more a different type of sun person. So now when you got Uranus in the sixth house, this deals with the house of Virgo, the house of earthly, the house of Earth, Mercury, speeding Mercury, the mind in the earthly body. So Uranus connects in this house, the way it operates. Uranus is all about the health. And the way you go about health, you might don't care about your health. See what I'm saying? So Uranus, when it's in the house, it can, like, the house could do this, but Uranus could rebel against what it is. So you might don't care about your health, or you come up with new ways when dealing with health. New ways, you might invent new ways for people to heal or for people to get over their sicknesses. So it could work like that too. So this is how it operates. But you can be very rebellious. Like Uranus in the 5th house deal with all authority figures, the father and all those male figures that's authority figures. So it could be very rebellious against the male figures. In the 4th house, you can be rebellious against those who be very emotional. You might don't like when they're very emotional, even though you're emotional. The 3rd house could be very rebellious against communication and the mind, other people's thoughts, the way they think. And the 2nd house could be very rebellious against those who don't have none, or those who do have something. And the 1st house could be rebellious in general because it's part of your personality. Now, back on the 6th house, you are rebellious. You can be rebellious when it comes to people trying to tell you how to heal yourself, or you can be rebellious when it comes to those who don't want to heal, vice versa. So you deal with this the house of health. This house of serving people. This the house of helping people. So the way you serve people will be different. It'll be from your ideas of your mind. You know what I mean? So the way you serve people will be differently than the average way a Virgo do. So the way you serve people will be from your vision. You will know how to serve people. You'll do it on a global scale. So you want to not only serve an individual, you want to serve some of everybody, because it's the earth house. So you want to carry it out, or what you visualize in your ideas. So this makes you definitely a surgical doctor, because you come up with new ways to have surgery. It also makes you a scientist, but you also could be the one, like I say, intuitive genius in this house when dealing with health. When dealing with health area, you will have the solutions of how people can heal that's different than the norms. And so when people say do it this way, or they should eat this, they should do that, you'll break the taboos of that and do it differently. Because you don't like to be boxed in. You like to try something differently and experiment and invent and bring out new ideas. When it comes to health, not only of the physical body, but health also when dealing with the mind. And so you're the type who can feel energy within your body and intuitively know how to read the energy that you feel, so that makes you an empath, a physical empath, receptive empath that pick up on information in your body. And so you automatically know how to heal people. Also, you heal yourself because you intuitively know due to the higher mind of Uranus in this house. And so when it's dealing with this house here, it makes you want to work out different, think different. Like normal Virgo, like to be all detail oriented. So not only is you detail oriented, but this here makes you go outside of the box and be in detail oriented at times. And makes you just listen to your intuition. I know. In this house, I know when dealing with health. I know. I don't need details all the time. I know. And so that makes you unique in this house when dealing with the earthly Mercury. So you think differently. You know what I mean? You communicate differently. And you don't always be detail oriented all the time like the regular Mercury. And when you convinced about something, you don't stop. You know what I mean? So you convinced about being different. You love to be unique. When somebody try to come against you about being different and you're not following the crowd, that's when they will have problems, because you could be very rebellious when it comes to that. So in this house here, you love to study, love to research, love information, love to communicate, and love to do it on a global scale. Love to heal people and help people on different scale, and love to serve people in big ways in this house. And so boom. And we got Uranus in the 7th house in Libra. This makes you higher mind with dealing with love, because this is the house of love and partnership. So you know you got ways of bringing people together when dealing with partnership that's different than the average, than the normal. And so you got wisdom of how to bring people together, how to be the diplomat. This house of peacemaking. So your higher mind stay on creating new ways to be the peacemaker, finding ways to have peace on the planet. And so you deal with Venus things, so you stylish, you'll be different than the normal Libra. You'll wear something that's different and unique. So you can blend in easy with a Libra, because Libra already like to be stylish and be different anyway. So this makes you super creative and super, not only interior designer or decorator, It makes you a good photographer. Those who live in your imagination, your mind, dreamer. It makes you super clairvoyance. Also, it makes you highly intuitive, knowing the human nature. I know, claircognizance, all of that when dealing with Uranus and Libra. So you're super smart and you all weighing things up. Like normal Libra will wear things up. Sometimes you don't want to wear things up. Sometimes you are convinced that you are always right. I know, type of personality. But once you are balanced, you use the Libra scale to help you make a decision on a global scale, not only just individual, because you the type who could be very divine and show people ways to meditate, because meditate bring balance. So you're in the house of balance, you will need balance. You will need to be grounded. You need to visualize and bring things into reality. And so with the Venus effect, you always deal with love. You experience love and you will know how to love, intuitively know how to love, because you trust things that's different. You don't mind trying things different sexually. Because start off in the mind. You visualize in the mind first, sexually, and then you might carry it out and apply it, because this deals with trying new experiences and trying new things. And so you'll be different than the normal Libra. Like the normal Libra, like hectosexual. You might be bisexual, you might be homosexual in this house. It depends. That ain't saying that you are, but you could be, because you like to experience something that's different, which means different than what this house represents, which means this house represents being together in partnership. You might want to try something that's different. You might don't want to be in partnership like that. You might want many relationships. So, because Uranus want to experience, Uranus want to do his own thing and be independent and be free and break the taboos and think outside of the box. So you be good at inventing new ways when dealing with creativity, creating something new, being more adventurous and exploring in this house. And if you are in a partnership, you will love when people look at you as unique and different. You honor that when they look at you as unique and different. So your higher mind blends in with the Libra air sign. So in this house, deal with the air. So it blends in very well. So it makes you definitely one of the smartest placements in astrology. So like, not only do you have a scientific mind, you understand what people say. You understand more than a little bit. Also, you always think 10 steps ahead of time. So you most like a planner, a good planner, always planning your life. But your plans also change up because Uranus is always changing. So, boom. In this house, you can be social worker, therapist, counselor, advisor, anything that deal with social work, dealing with connecting with people. You can do anything. But the way you do it will be differently, and you can also come up with new ideas the way to do something. And so in this house here, not only is you stylish and charming, your charm is different. You got different charm. Sometimes you be so charming, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you turn people on, sometimes you don't. Things happen all of a sudden. But when Uranus there, one thing for sure, when you do fall in love with somebody, it's forever. Because Uranus is loyal. Uranus is loyal to those individuals. So now, when you got Uranus in the house, in the 8th house, which is the house of Scorpio, now, which I want y'all to understand this. I got Uranus in Scorpio as my personality. But now, when you got Uranus in the house of Scorpio, it's similar to my placement. But this is in the area of life that you vibrate, which means Uranus in the house of Pluto. So it's higher mind power, intuitive power. Okay, then break it down. Unique power, rebellious power. You're very rebellious. Rebellious power. Also, independent power, freedom power, free thinking power, thinking outside of the box power. Give you an idea of what they represent. Thinking outside the box when it comes to the hidden and unknown. Coming up with solutions to problems that's different. Because this is the house to deal with the hidden and the unknown. Tapping the people's secret in a different way than the normal. Breaking taboos of religion. Bringing out new ideas and ways to represent spirituality. Bringing out new ways to do astrology, bringing out new ways to do numerology, bringing out new ways to do anything you choose to do. You know what I mean? This house is different, could be very rebellious, and it's unstoppable. Because it's like unstoppable energy in the house of Pluto. And Pluto is all about power. So how you go about getting power is being different, being unique than the norm. So you the type that can go hard upon people. Since you got Uranus here, you also can be nice, very loving. And you got unique tactics and skills at dealing with people. So you definitely know the human nature. Be the great psychologist. The great psychologist or psychiatrist, and the great counselor, because you like to know what makes a person ticks and how they think. In this house love to tap into the hidden, which means the hidden thoughts, the hidden mind, the hidden spirit. And so this house is also highly clairvoyant and a medium. Yes, because you pick up on energy within your body, and not only within your body, you understand people's emotions. You understand if people not telling the truth. This house love the truth. So you are the radar detector for the truth or what is. And if it's not truth, you can call out people BS and let them know what is. And you don't be around any type of people. This house go hard. You go hard in this house. Your unique self is power, Pluto. You are the power. Your generation deals with power. So you do whatever it takes to become that power or become that force that people can't reckon with. And you can pose other forces that's more powerful than you, but because you want that power. And you can think you harder than any other forces. This the house is in. This the house want power. This house want to also to transform and better itself. This house is always changing up, being different personality. First you might be the for example, first you might be Superman, then you might be the sweet kid, then you might be Superwoman, then you might be, I'm changing it up now because that's how you do. First you might be into Christianity, then you might be into Islam, then you might be into spirituality, always seeking to transform, find yourself and trying things different. This house is always changing personalities. You don't know what you're going to get, but it's for the better. Believe that. Once you realize who you are, it's for the better. Everything for the better. Like you don't stick to one thing because you always changing up and get bored after a while. But at the same time, when you stick to your niche and find your power, that's what you will be loyal to forever, because you can be very loyal and be very ruthless to accomplish your objective. If anybody getting in your way, you can chop their head off or knock them out your way. Because this you can be very ruthless to accomplish your goals and your objectives. This is Uranus power. Uranus power, which means the truth bringing power. So you bringing the light area, bringing the truth, spreading the message, spreading the word, and disposing what is true, bringing it to the public, bring it to the light. So when Uranus is in the house of Pluto, it operates and it dissects the code. It could be that spy. It could also be not only a spy, but a scientist. It could be definitely it's intuitive genius. Definitely got that quality in here. But the way it's intuitive genius is through psychic visions, psychically knowing, which means claircognizance, has all the psychic gifts in this house of a medium where you can talk to spirits if you tap into it. So not say that everybody in this house gonna do it, because you got to tap into it. It's there, and you know it's there, because all your life you've been dealing with spirits. But you, the one who's staying tough though, staying strong, and you don't fear nothing. Or you might go through things that deal with fear that made you strong, because you transform in this house. It will make you unique. You might go through things that make you want to be unique in this house or different, and you don't want to be like the average, because you know that you're different. You know who you are. So I know my power in this house. I know myself. And so now when Uranus is in the house, in the 9th house, and Jupiter, a Sagittarius, this Sagittarius want to be different. It already correlates with Sagittarius freedom. So Uranus already love freedom. So this is the house of freedom. So it would do good in this house, very good in this fire house, because Uranus love to have fun. So you create new ways to have fun and explore. So Uranus, you a type who definitely would explore, not only physically, but you explore more mentally than anything, through wisdom, through knowledge, to bring out new philosophy, bring out a new language, a new way of speaking, the new way of expressing yourself. Because this is the house it is, Sagittarius. And you very receptive to other people's opinions and thoughts. And you're definitely rebellious against other people's thoughts. Like the regular Sagittarius itself will accept it without rebellion. But you, since you got Uranus in this house or Uranus in this house, you be rebellious against the way people think. Always like the argument for the sake of it. You argument for the sake of it, and you look at it as fun to argue about a subject or a topic. You see it as fun because you're learning, but also you might be hurting somebody's feeling, but you don't know. You know what I mean? But you think it's fun. You know what I mean? Because you deal with the mind, like Uranus in the 8th house deal with the mastermind, and you deal with expansion of the mind, expansion of your intuition, expansion of yourself, because you're a clairvoyant in this house. You're definitely a seer, and you totally understand what you see. So you won't have no problem being a clairvoyant in this house, or highly intuitive, or expanding your consciousness or your mind. And so you got to have something to believe in, but what you believe in will be different than the normal, which means you're not going to be all into religion type of individual. You are the type who going to be more spiritual and bring things to the light that's spiritual, but you could go overboard with spirituality and your divinity. So also your spirit could change. Like one minute you high, feeling good, the next minute you feeling down. Could keep switching up because it's Aquarius nature. So one minute you're very cheery, then you can be pessimistic. Like the regular SADS is mostly all the time happy and cheerful. But since you got Uranus here, it mix up things because it's deal with change all of a sudden. But also all of a sudden events would deal with knowledge, change up. They deal with knowledge, information. Like you're always changing your point of views, your opinions. First you think that this is right, and then you're always changing because you're always trying to find a solution to problems and things like that. Also your life deal with luck, because it's the house of luck. So the way your luck comes will be different. See, Jupiter luck comes out of nowhere. And so your luck come all of a sudden out of nowhere, quickly. You know what I mean? So definitely it blend in with this house. Your luck coming out of nowhere. And from the knowledge that you bring. So your luck comes from being different and inventing a new system when dealing with knowledge, when dealing with spirituality, when dealing with your senses. So you like to explore your senses, explore what you taste, explore what you touch, explore what you see, explore what you feel. You like to explore things. So you can have many partners when dealing with sex, and you can be whatever you want to be, because Uranus with a span in Jupiter. Your luck will expand in Aquarius type way. Your luck will expand in Uranus type way in the house of Sagittarius or Jupiter. So your Aquarius energy or Uranus energy will expand. And also the Jupiter house that you in, you bring Uranus energy there. That way you will be more unique, and you find new ways of teaching, new ways of healing, meditation. Yes, you got new ways of meditating. You'll meditate differently. It won't be the same. And you'll be a different type of sage, different than the world, and break records of how you do things spiritually and how you do things when dealing with your philosophy, when dealing with the word or messages. Yes, you break the record book in something. You'll break the record book in something that deals with knowledge and education. And so your education skill would deal with the human nature, knowing the human nature, knowing people, and you would know how the world operate, and you'll bring this light to everybody. So if somebody living in faith, living in illusion or fakeness, you will expose that. And the way you expose it will be different. You won't do it like how the average person would do it. You'll do it in your own unique way. And so the thing is, nobody can test that mind, because that's the most powerful weapon you got. Because your knowledge is different. Your knowledge is unique. Your knowledge can be rebellious against other people's knowledge, other people in general. Your knowledge. So now, since the house is about expansion of the consciousness, expansion of your nature, and you got a big complex, your big complex deals with your humanitarian nature of who you are. So that's what your big complex deal with your unique self. And so those who come against who you are, you would definitely stand strong and confidence and battle them with the Sagittarius energy. Now, when we got Uranus in the house of Capricorn, now right here, Uranus understands Saturn nature. So Uranus will be on a higher frequency. So it's about your careers in this house. Your careers would deal with Uranus type energy. Your careers would be like Your career would be like teaching, being an inventor, being the one who would be an explorer, also being the one who trying something different, something new. So your career deal with education, deal with the mind, deal with the thoughts, bringing out new thoughts, new ways of speaking, new language. Your career would deal with anything that deal with being different, and so with higher mind, because you deal with the higher mind. So right here, you work hard when dealing with the higher mind. You work hard to be different, and you want to leave a mark and a legacy. When it deal with Uranus energy, you want to leave a mark and legacy. Will have inventing something new, starting something new. You be the trendsetter right here, like advanced technology. So not only like in this house deal with advanced technology because Uranus is in this house. Also Uranus, when it's in the 8th house, deal with advanced technology. So when it's in the 10th house, you showing up deal with advanced technology. And you wanna leave a mark for that. You want to be a legend for that. With advancement of civilization, advancement of new technology, of new science, of new some of everything. You know what I'm saying? Being your own being. So you want to be very unique and very different. You don't want to be like nobody else. When you in the house of Capricorn, you work hard for it. Because this house gives you the persistence and give you the determination to do that and to achieve. It makes you very cool, very calm. You know what I mean? But also people can see as detached attitude. Like you very cold, but you're not. So this the house that always working, always scribing, always trying to achieve. So you got to be careful not to overwork in this house, not to overdo it mentally. Because you always stay in your mind, always thinking. So you can catch dementia if you don't balance yourself out. Because in this house, you want to know when dealing with your career. You want to feel like you professionally the best at whatever you do. So right here, you got to calm down and don't be stressed about this stuff and learn how to balance yourself out when dealing with your careers, when dealing with your family, when dealing with your tradition. You know what I mean? Because you're very traditional, which means you can blend in with other people. But no, not Uranus. Uranus ain't going for that. Uranus want to be different. Uranus don't want to be stuck in the box. So the way you operate, the way you move will be different. Your careers will be different. Your reputation will be different. You will leave a different type of legacy, and you will leave a different type of mark on the world. But the way you do it will be in a humanitarian way. You want to help, you want to heal, you love to give, but only on your own terms. Everything is done on your own terms. You want to think outside the box on your own term. In the house, a Capricorn. So you always want to be the expert and always want to master who you are. So once you master yourself, your higher self, that's when you will definitely be into your divinity of who you are. Yeah, so now, when Uranus is in the house of Aquarius, it's in its own house. So Uranus work good right here. It's in its own house. So this is going to amplify the vibration. It's going to carry all the Aquarius traits. And now it can actually do what it want to do in this house. It could be that Aquarius is supposed to be, which means be the humanitarian. So your generation, like the Capricorn generation, when Uranus in the Capricorn generation is about the careers and work and manifesting and leaving a mark. But now you're in the house of, now you're in your own house, which is 11th house. Your generation is definitely going to be different intervenes of light and bring new ways and new talent, new skills, new some of everything to the light, and want to be different and hate to be bored. Your generation carried the full Aquarius type trait and energy in this house. So this deal with the humanitarian nature, this deal with the higher minds. So you're going to live in your mind in this house. And you always dissecting the cold things and break it down. And this house loved that. This house loved the challenge and love to be rebellious against other people's thoughts and their ways and their concepts. Because this is the house for that. This house loved to depart the truth and bring the truth. It can be very blunt. And some people could take you as being nasty the way you speak, because you can go hard upon people when they are not on the same page. So this house love to be different and go express yourself. And you can speak out of nowhere and people don't even know where that come from. So this the type of individual you are. You just say things and people look at you like, well, nobody talking to this person. Why they just speaking out like that? Because you feel you can do what you want to do. When Uranus is in the 11th house, its own house. Uranus feel comfortable here. Uranus feel fixed. And when you fix, it's hard to get out your own ways and your own thinking. So in this house here, Uranus love Aquarius because it's originally the planet of Aquarius. So in this house here, you do very good, but also it's better for you to come down to earth and don't stay all in your mind all the time. And you're good at that anyway. You're good at like visualizing something and manifesting your attention and going after it. Because the Aquarius energy don't let you rest. It's speed, it's how your mind, how your thoughts, how your vibration. So you really feel it within every bone, unless you're on the downside of your Aquarius nature. On the downside, you can be very rebellious, fighting, snappish, all that there. You know what I'm saying? On the downside, you could be the type that could be rebellious when dealing with the mind, when dealing with the way people communicate and skills. It can be very harsh upon people and very cruel. But also, you can be very forceful. So now, but when you're on the upside, Uranus live his best life. Uranus is that social worker, that counselor, that guide that people could come to. Uranus is always also behind the scene type of personality where you don't want to just be out in the open. Like the 10th house, you will be out in the open because you want to leave a mark, a legacy. Now, when you're in your own house, you don't really mind if you do, if you don't leave a mark. You just want to help people. You just want to see the world change. And you always seeing like bad things going on in the world. You might go through it because you worry about what's going on in the world. That's the type of individual you are. And you're very curious, very nosy, like, so you want to know what's happening, what's the haps. Just like when Uranus in the house of all the air signs, which is the 7th house and the 3rd, and also when it's in the 5th, you like to know. See, the 5th like to know for fun. The 3rd naturally like to know in the 3rd house. In the 7th house, like to know because the air sign. Air sign is very curious. In your own house, you definitely like to know. And you're going to find the answer because I know right here, claircognizance is the psychic ability and gift you have. Your creative skill is out of the box. It's different. It's unique. You always come with new ideas. And you love when people be themselves and you like to be yourself. This is the house where you can be yourself. Now, this is the area of life where you're going to be yourself. Regardless who come against you, you'll fight for your freedom. Your freedom is being yourself. Freedom is also you like for others to be themselves. You will fight for other people's freedom so they could be themselves. So when Uranus is in the last house, which is the 12th house, Pisces, Neptune, oh, Uranus is different, spiritually different. Like Pisces itself, and house of Neptune love to connect with others and the underdog. But Uranus right here will rebel against that. Now Uranus don't like to be so attached to people, places, and things. So your divinity, because this is the house of spirituality, is being unique, creating your own spiritual myths and ways of operating, your own spiritual ways of doing rituals or creating magic, because it's the house of psychic ability. So you have all the psychic abilities in this house, but you will be like a unique and different type of person. People see you and they don't see you because you're so quick. First you might be in people's sight, and then they might forget about you, and then you might reappear. And then you could be in people's sight, and if they do forget about you, they're going to think you up out of nowhere, all of a sudden, because it's all of a sudden energy. All of a sudden you come to people's mind. That's the type of energy that you bring to people's lives. So Uranus make you more unique and different with spirituality, which you're not the original Pisces, because you're different. This time you're more like in your mind. You're more in your mind, but it's connect with your emotions. So it just makes you emotionally intelligent and emotionally aware of other people's emotions. So it makes you definitely the empath you need to be. So it makes you more psychic than the average Pisces. Yeah, the reason why you're more psychic because you understand it. So all air signs understand what they see, what they hear, what they feel. The air sign going all worlds. So Uranus going all worlds. It go in the water. It go in the earth, and it go in the fire. It go in all worlds. So the air sign going every world. That's why it's the heart. So the air sign deal with the heart. So you can be whatever you want to be, far as you have all the psychic gifts when you want to have it, or if you tap into it. Because even if you want it or not, you're gonna feel emotions. You might drain yourself when dealing with other people's emotions. But nah, Uranus ain't gonna allow that, because Uranus is gonna be free. So you're going to be free from your emotions. You definitely going to stay in your escape mind state because this is Uranus. Uranus love to be free. So when dealing with your emotions, you want to be free. And you don't like to be all up in your emotions like the average Pisces. And you the type who will find a solution so you won't be in your emotions. And learn about emotions. And once you master what you went through with your emotions, this is when you could teach people about emotions. So this gives you ability to be a great teacher and healer in this house. So you'll be above the average Pisces, which means the regular traits of a Pisces, because this makes you more in the higher mind. Not only is Neptune spiritually higher, but also Uranus is higher. So this connects with the higher mind. So it makes you a spiritual master teacher, the gurus, good in numerology, astrology, good in Reiki healing, and arts healing, and bringing out new ways of healing, bring out new ways of numerology, creating numerology and astrology, bring out new ways, and your intuition never lie. Highly, you vibrate highly. Your intuition is mostly what you live by, but you also, since you got Uranus here, like the regular Pisces live most about intuition. I got to reverse that and say that it's a balance, which means that sometimes you live by your logical thinking, but also you live by your intuition. So it's a balance. So once you balance that out, that's how you win. So, because the air gives you reasoning and understanding. Your intuition, you just know without a reason or understanding. Sometimes you just go by your intuition. Sometimes you go by your logical thinking, because that help you out too, to find evidence and facts about things. So now, once you balance it out, you can be the creative genius. Yeah, I say creative genius. And intuitive genius, not only intuitive genius, but you could be the master of souls, because you just know people's souls, you know their mind. So it makes you very, very good psychic, very good psychic reader, very good psychic reader or healer. Makes you good in therapy, good in the creative arts, photography work, anything that deals with your imagination, because you're very dreamy. You're a very good dream interpreter. You tap into all of that because you are different, because you have dreams out of nowhere. You have psychic visions out of nowhere. It happens differently when you got Uranus. It happens more quickly too and fast out of nowhere. You get downloads, very clear cognites out of nowhere. You just know. Nobody can tell you. You know your divinity. You know spirituality. Nobody can tell you about spirituality. You could be rebellious when people try to tell you about spirituality. And so boom, it makes you a great teacher when dealing with anything that's spiritual, anything that's divine. Also makes you a great teacher with anything that deals with psychology of the mind. Or not only that, makes you a great teacher when dealing with healing arts, bringing new ways to heal, healing with the hands, like Uranus in the sixth house. The sixth house is the healing house, which is Virgo with the hands. Also, you are a healer, so you could just, by people being around your aura, they will heal, because you got a different vibration, different frequency. You move different. People are always wondering about you. Just like Uranus and Scorpio, people are always wondering about, and they love Uranus in the 8th house of power, which is Scorpio. So in your house, they definitely love yours because you got a more smoother, cooler. Because the 8th house more aggressive, more dominant, more powerful. You know what I mean? Because it's all about power there. But in your house, it's more spiritual, more enlightenment, more harmony. So you got new ways of spreading love and bringing love to the whole, to the masses in your generation. So your generation in this house will do good when dealing with divinity and spirituality. And you need faith. Without faith, your works is dead. And without your works, faith is dead. So you need both, vice versa. You need faith and you need your works. Put it into work, put it into action. So faith is very important. You're confident. So once you build yourself up and have faith and tap into who you are and study yourself and learn yourself, and you will master yourself, you can share this love with everybody all over the world. And so you could be the master healer all over, spread your love. And so you can teach people how to have self-love. Teach them what self-love is about. Be an example of self-love. And you won't be a martyr for others. Because in this house, Uranus ain't trying to be a martyr. Uranus want to be a free spirit. So sometimes you can try to free yourself from being with people or being around people. So now, tap into your divinity, bring new ways of spiritual healing, spiritual teachings, and you will win. So with this being said, as I can't bring this light, it gets still realer than this. Or sure.